This man learned kung fu from an eel. He grabbed an eel and tossed it onto the shore. The eel desperately wiggled its body and darted back into the water. Jack carefully observed its swimming technique, then tried to mimic the eel's rolling and twisting movements in the water. Seeing how the eel constantly darted forward, the young man immediately raised his arms and launched an attack in that direction. Jack became obsessed with learning from eels, even twisting his body while sleeping. Annie laughed when she saw this. Jack sheepishly explained he was practicing kung fu. He stood up and gestured for Annie to grab his hand. When she did, Jack immediately used the slipperiness of his hand to break free. To save face, Annie tried to grab Jack's body, but to her surprise, his body was even more slippery than his hands. Feeling that Jack had taken advantage of her, Annie walked away angrily. Jack continued to perfect his kung fu. He gathered a bunch of bamboo sticks and repeatedly maneuvered through the gaps between them. One small mistake, and Jack would get scratched, but he didn't give up. After making his hands incredibly slippery, Jack began using his entire body to navigate through the bamboo. Once his whole body was trained to be extremely slippery, he found some hemp ropes and tied them into small loops to train his punching speed. He also crawled on his shoulders to strengthen his abdominal muscles. After a month of rigorous training, Jack finally developed his own eel-style boxing technique, giving him the confidence to defeat the bandit Charlie. Jack swung his sword, making the first move, but Charlie didn't take him seriously. Charlie spun around repeatedly while swinging his sword, slicing through Jack's clothes and cutting his belt. Seeing that Jack was no match for him, Charlie didn't want to waste time. He swung his sword directly at Jack's waist, then confidently sheathed his sword. What he didn't know was that Jack wore soft armor. Jack smiled, having successfully defended himself, but Charlie remained unfazed. He drew his sword again. In a flurry of quick attacks, Jack found himself in trouble. Charlie cut the rope on Jack's back, causing his armor to fall off. Jack tried to retrieve it, but Charlie blocked him and knocked away his sword. However, Jack used his tattered clothes to distract his opponent, and when Charlie wasn't looking, Jack slipped Charlie's sword into his own sheath, rendering Charlie's weapon useless. Seeing this, Charlie engaged Jack in hand-to-hand combat, but Jack wasn't worried at all. He had coated his body with eel oil, making it incredibly slick. Charlie tried to grab and lock Jack down, but found it impossible to get a grip on him. Instead, Jack tore Charlie's clothes with a few moves. Realizing he couldn't beat Jack, Charlie attempted his ultimate move, summoning spiritual possession, but Jack quickly flipped forward, extended his leg to block Charlie, preventing him from stepping on the ritual pattern. No matter where Charlie tried to step, Jack was one step ahead, finding his landing spot first. Seeing that Charlie wouldn't stop, Jack hurriedly pulled out his underwear and put it directly over Charlie's head. When Charlie tried to cast his spell again, he couldn't summon any power. This instantly threw Charlie into panic. Jack seized the opportunity for a quick attack, knocking Charlie down to the second floor and into the police cordon below. Charlie, who had killed 7 people, was finally captured.